Welcome to the rest of my life. I'm Lance Ash. Oh my God. I didn't sleep very well today. Slept off my regular schedule and had to force myself to keep going back to sleep. Found out something this weekend I never knew. After Keith Moon died, Phil Collins offered to take his place, but they'd already picked Kenny Jones. My God, can you imagine The Who with Phil Collins? Maybe they would have kept going for more than just 2 lousy albums. They could have kept going. My wife was saying, well, if he had joined The Who, he probably wouldn't have had the solo career that he had. Well, he probably still would have done solo records, but yeah, I'm sure he would. Oh my God, lost history. Oh my God. Well, after abandoning my original conception for the paintings moving forward, all of a sudden a new conception came upon me. Not a new conception, but a new way to do what I had decided to do. So I wrote it all down. I'm gonna try to follow it, see what happens. It's a new thing. I mean, I'm hoping it's the final direction that I'm gonna head in for the rest of my life with my work. We'll see. I hope I never decide to write another novel. The last one, really, it was good, but it just, I don't know, the final nail. Oh my goodness. My wife's sister is really bad off with COVID, and my wife is really upset about it. And the whole weekend she was just distraught. So this whole thing has revealed the fundamental demarcation between the American population along I don't even know what you'd call it. It's not along religious lines so much as it is along lines of, well, conservatism and progressivism, I suppose. I hate to boil anything down to a basic dichotomy. Speaking of which, I watched a really, really good video on, well, it basically led up to Gödel's incompleteness theorem, but I felt such deep satisfaction watching it because it confirmed much of what I have suspected and believed for a long time. Number one, I'm a big adherent of Korzybski's dictum, the map is not the territory. I even wrote a song with those lyrics in it. And it also confirmed, well, for me anyway, it wasn't listed in the video so much, my belief that consciousness or self-awareness, I would prefer to put it that way, I think is a necessary part of reality, necessary part of existence. And I know that there are some fellows in the skeptic rationalist community, people I would call allies, brothers in the struggle against superstition who don't feel that way and who are totally against that mindset. But from an individual point of view, I think it is necessary. And see, the problem is with those people, I think, is that they fall into the trap of trying to boil everything down to one viewpoint, one truth. And I don't see it that way. I think the video about the math being incomplete, not perfect, proves that. If you boil everything down to a basic dichotomy, you're forced necessarily to balance between them. And it's a balance between one's own self-awareness, one's own perception of the world, and the actual world, which includes everyone else's self-awareness. Oh my God. What got me thinking about The Who was the new painting I'm doing. And I tried to make it a little more interesting. And I think it is a little more interesting. There's 3 figures in it, and they're a little larger. I decided to... I don't know what made me think about it now that I think about it. But anyway, the point is, there's one guy that's standing on a little platform displaying some shoes he's wearing. And I copied his stance and his general appearance from a picture I saw of Roger Daltrey on stage in 1980, back when he cut his hair short. It's funny, I don't know which came first. So I brought along the 2 albums they did with Kenny Jones. Poor Kenny Jones. He got short shrift, I think. Underrated. Too bad the Stones aren't in a position to hire him to replace Charlie Watts. But they've already picked somebody who's phenomenal. Probably 25 years younger than Kenny Jones, too. Brings me back to that thing I said earlier about Bill Ward not joining Sabbath on that final go-round. It's a shame he couldn't do it, but the guy they picked, I can't think of his name right now, it was unbelievable. Exactly the right drummer to pick for that record. I was really hoping after that last Black Sabbath record that Ozzy would take the hint and go in a little more, I don't want to say blues-based, but a little more meat and potatoes-based approach with his next solo record, but of course he didn't. He wanted to go slick. I had a dream today. I can't remember what it was about, but basically it was my mind auto-generating a facsimile of early 70s television culture, advertising and stuff, and got me thinking about if it's possible, just letting my mind go at work instead of always trying to come up with the next entry for the little book I carry around. But I don't know. The whole point behind the little book is to come away from each night with something productive, rather than just the job, rather than just the man hours. hate getting behind a chicken truck, not because of the smell, but because of the little feathers that come off. God, is that guy's... sounds like his muffler's dragging. Something is rattling in my left ear over here. I think it's the seatbelt assembly mechanism. Tonight is a holiday, and at the post office, what that means is generally tonight should be an easy night, but tomorrow, I'm trying to think. Anyway, what it means is for the rest of the week you'll have a backlog. It's a pain in the butt. I wish I could just... I remember a long time ago when I worked at the post office, the first time I did night shift. This is back in '88. I had this fantasy while I was working that somebody had written a book, a fake biography, fake history book, in which the Beatles were good friends with Ernest Hemingway. And I'm not really in the position anymore to have those types of daydreams, because I've got so much to do and so much responsibility, and I have to constantly be threading the minefield of social interaction. I actually turned off YouTube for a while while I was painting last night. Didn't last long, but because I've just lost it. There's just so little of any interest there. The math thing was interesting, but it was interrupted by, I don't know, probably in the 33-minute video, it was interrupted, I think, 4 times by advertisement breaks. Don't you love the ad for Grammarly? Writing is hard. Yeah, if you're an idiot who doesn't like reading. But Grammarly will allow you to let the robot write in a uniform way that everyone can understand. I also saw just a little piece of a video about China's work culture, where they work the living shit out of you. And all I could think is, that's what they want here. Oh my God. The old movie theater where my daughter used to work is closed down, and they've turned the parking lot into a place for 18-wheelers to pull over and spend the night, a place to sleep. The girl I dated, the last girlfriend I had before I got married, her stepfather was a trucker, and she worked as a waitress in a couple of truck stops. They lived right off 85. And so I got to know the truck stop culture, which I never knew anything about. You can get a decent meal any hour of the day, and some of them have big, nice showers. You go in and say like rent one of the shower rooms, and you pay the price, and you go in. There's a big room with hot water, place to lay out your clothes, take a shower, brush your teeth, get changed. Really fantastic. And they have just about anything you'd need. I couldn't be a trucker though. That's a lot of pressure. I've been watching a lot of anti-Brexit videos, and one of the major industries affected by it are truckers, or as they put it in the videos, lorry drivers, long-haul drivers, and all the shit they have to go through. I wouldn't do it. I'd love to live in Europe though. I foolishly bought a lottery ticket on Thursday. Yeah, that's right, it was Thursday. And of course I didn't win. Probably wouldn't be doing the video if I had. But I mean, I think I want, my dream is to move to Europe. Dream is to win the lottery and use the money to go to Europe. But I think I'd have to bounce around a little bit before I found exactly the right place to live. It's a big difference in culture. The whole thing about keeping quiet on Sunday and everything closes down on Sunday, I find bizarre. I find it very bizarre, especially because the society there is ostensibly secular. So you wonder, why would they respect the whole Sunday thing? Oh, do you hear the road noise? I don't know what to say. I don't want to end the video early. I ought to have something that I can, I ought to have a separate recording that I can play when I'm fumbling for the next batch of words to spew out. It's a good idea to think about that. Why don't you just get a nice, cheap video camera and film your videos, and then get some editing software and put it together all professional? It'll look so much nicer, and you'll get so many more views. Well, first of all, no, I won't. Second of all, that costs money. And third, I don't have the time. You're lucky you're getting what you're getting. Right here, this stretch of road here is where I wrecked the car a year and a half ago. I haven't had, but the very barest bit of seizure activity since I quit drinking caffeine. Just the edge of an aura, maybe 4 times. Really amazing. The worst thing about that wreck was that somehow I lost a really nice pair of sunglasses. They were from the dollar store, but they fit perfectly. They were exactly the right shade, and they almost had that dragonfly eye appearance, like those sunglasses that Keith Richards had around 66. I think Mick wore them too for a little bit. Right around the time of Aftermath. My father's sister was in the hospital with COVID also. She got the vaccine though, much to my surprise. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. Making a video, making a recording, just like a go-to when I can't think of anything to say. Because there's too much dead air in these things. Alright, that's about it. See you later.